Close your eyes and think about your city. The bright lights, the humming of the grid, the grocery stores overflowing with food from every corner of the planet. It feels permanent, doesn't it? Like a mountain that could never be moved. But you are looking at a mirage. The modern world isn't built on stone, it's built on movement. An invisible spiderweb of trucks that never stop rolling. We call it just-in-time logistics. It means your supermarket only has enough food for 3 days, not 3 months, not 3 weeks, 72 hours. Imagine the trucks stop today. Day 1, you see empty shelves and think it's a glitch. You buy the last loaf of bread and go home. You're annoyed, but you feel safe. Day 2, the stores are locked. The first whispers of panic hit the streets. You skip lunch to save your stash. By day 3, the math of biology takes over. Your stomach isn't just growling anymore, it's screaming. Morality is a luxury for the full-bellied. By your 9th missed meal, your polite neighbor isn't a friend anymore, he's a predator looking at your front door. It's called the 9-meal rule. It is the exact distance between a civilized society and total bloody anarchy. I am the Sentinel, and today we're going to expose the brutal math that most people miss until it's too late. You're probably sitting there right now, looking at your kitchen and thinking, I'm not like the others. My pantry's full. I've got enough pasta, rice, and canned soup to last a month. How adorably optimistic. That is the illusion of plenty. You see a full shelf, but you don't see the math. Imagine the power goes dark tonight. Your refrigerator, the centerpiece of your survival, becomes a plastic coffin in less than 12 hours. All that frozen meat? It's no longer food, it's a ticking time bomb of bacteria. Now you're down to your dry goods. You look at those 3 bags of rice and 4 jars of sauce and see a mountain. But do the calculation. A family of 4 under the stress of a collapse burns calories like a forest fire. That mountain of food isn't a month of security, it's 4 days of fuel, maybe 5, if you don't mind the feeling of your ribs pressing against your skin. The modern prepper doesn't have a stockpile, they have a snack drawer for the apocalypse. You've spent your life relying on a system that refills itself every night while you sleep. But when the trucks stop, the system doesn't just slow down, it vanishes. You aren't living on a surplus, you're living on a timer that you can't see. History is a graveyard of empires that thought they were too big to starve. In 1941, during the siege of Leningrad, a city of 3 million people ran out of food in just days. They weren't prepared because they trusted the system to keep the trains moving. Today, we've replaced trains with an algorithm. Our just-in-time system is so fragile that a single blockade thousands of miles away can kill your city before the weekend even starts. It's not a conspiracy, it's a mathematical trap. When the trucks stop, the countdown begins. To survive, you must know exactly what disappears and how to secure it. Let's break down the 5 tiers of the hunger collapse. Tier 1, the retail wipeout. The moment the news breaks that the supply chain has snapped, the countdown begins. Most people think they have a few days to get to the store. They are dead wrong. In a real collapse, a supermarket is stripped to the bone in less than 3 hours. Think back to 2020. People fought over toilet paper during a minor glitch. Now imagine a scenario where the trucks aren't coming back. By hour 6, the shelves are empty. By hour 12, the only things left in the store are spilled flour and the echoes of desperation. If you aren't already inside with your cart, you've already lost the first battle. That open sign on the corner, it's about to become a tombstone. Tier 2, the infrastructure freeze. This is where the just-in-time economy reveals its teeth. You see, food isn't just about what's in the can, it's about the energy required to get it to you. When the trucks stop, the fuel pumps run dry. Without fuel, the backup generators at water treatment plants fail. By the 24-hour mark, you turn your kitchen tap and hear nothing but a dry, hollow hiss. This is the water-food paradox. You might have 10 bags of rice, but without 3 gallons of clean water to boil them, that rice is just a bag of useless stones. The city is no longer a home. It is a concrete cage designed to dehydrate you. Tier 3. The social fracture. This is the halfway point. You've missed your 4th and 5th meals. The headache is setting in. The civility you've relied on your whole life, it's a thin coat of paint and it's peeling off. Look at the 1977 New York City blackout. In just 25 hours of darkness, over 1,000 fires were set and 1,600 stores were looted. That was just a blackout. Now add hunger to the equation. By the 48-hour mark, the police stop responding to calls. Their officers are human too. They've gone home to protect their own families. The law is now whatever the person with the heaviest crowbar says it is. Tier 4. The neighborhood siege. By now, the casual looters have finished the stores. They are moving to the suburbs. They aren't looking for jewelry anymore. They are smelling for wood smoke. They are looking for the one house that still has a light on in the window. Your neighbor, the one you've shared lawnmowers with for years, he hasn't eaten in 2 days. He can hear his children crying in the next room. At this moment, your stockpile isn't a resource, it's a target. If he knows you have food, you aren't his friend, you are his obstacle. This is when silence and invisibility become more valuable than any weapon you own. Tier 5. The biological breakdown. The 72-hour mark, the 9th missed meal. This is where the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for logic and morality, officially shuts down. The body enters starvation mode. The reptilian brain takes the wheel. In this state, a human being is more dangerous than any wild animal. They aren't bad people, they are biological machines driven by the singular goal of glucose. The 9-meal rule is now absolute. The city has finished its transformation from a hub of civilization into a hunting ground. You have reached the end of the timer. Those who didn't prepare are now part of the statistics. Those who did are still hiding in the shadows.
Most of you will finish this video, go to your kitchen, and look at your pantry with a sigh of relief. You'll tell yourself that I'm just being paranoid. You'll look at those 10 cans of soup and think, that's plenty, I'm safe. That thought is the first step toward becoming a statistic. Denial is a sedative. It makes the collapse feel like a distant movie until the moment the hunger actually hits your stomach. By then, the math is already against you. You can't negotiate with biology. You can't argue with a calendar that is missing its supply trucks. So how do you survive the anarchy of Tier 5? The answer isn't just what you eat, but how you hide. Here is my final golden rule for the 9-meal rule. The person who survives the collapse is the one who was never seen eating. If you have food for 30 days, tell your brain you have food for 10. Hide your surplus, mask your scent, and never, ever let the smell of cooking food leave your walls. In a starving city, a cooking fire is a homing beacon for every wolf in a 5-block radius. Be the ghost, be the shadow. Survive the 3 days so you can live for the next 30. The storm isn't coming. The clouds are already over your head. You are here because you've stopped listening to the noise and started looking at the signals. You are becoming a part of the Sentinel Fox family. Subscribe, turn on the bell. We don't pray for the best, we prepare for the worst. But before I go, look out your window. If you live in a high-rise, if you live in a complex with 1,000 doors, you are living in the most dangerous structure ever designed by man. Next week, I'm going to reveal the apartment trap, how to survive a high-rise building with no power or water. I'll show you why your luxury flat becomes a vertical tomb in less than 48 hours. I'll see you in the shadows.
prepare in silence.
Thank you for watching.